2k19 arena creations. This is the 5th and final arena that I'm going to be uploading today in community creations because I've only got space for 5. I'm going to be doing Slamboree. I actually thought I was going to do Bash of the Beach. In my previous video said I was doing Bash of the Beach, but actually I was wrong. I wanted to do Slamboree because this is one I'm really proud of in terms of the logo that I created. I did it all from scratch based on what I saw on screen from the network and from the screenshots that I took. So I was really proud actually when I got this one finished because it really does look like the logo. So what I'm doing now is basically little setup of what the Slamboree looks like. It's a difficult arena looking at the actual way. It's not the easiest one that I've done, but it's a good challenge. So I'm going to enjoy this one. It's going to be fun to do. At the moment I'm just looking at kind of colours to use, what kind of patterns to use. It looks like it's an interesting arena and it's an interesting logo. Everything about this is interesting actually. So I'm not going to make it look on what I want to do because I'm so proud of myself for the work I did making the Slamboree logo, which you can now see. I actually want to throw that onto the sides rather than on most of the shots it just says like WCW TV title, or it says like something like that with WCW on. So what I'm going to do is just put the logos on there because I'm so happy with them, and then I'm going to blow them up because I'm that happy. Also with this template you can't put the Slamboree logo on the central panel, which is where in the original arena that's where it actually went. So I just figured, look, I need to get it on there somehow. This looks really cool. So there go the logos. I have created the Slamboree logo in text alone, so that's without the weird red and orange shapes. It still has the orange WCW NWO logo, but that's, for the par, I think you have to accept that that's going to be on there. If you hit me up on Twitter, xharperco, or hit me up on Instagram at xharper.co, and just let me know and say I really want this one, because later, when I eventually hopefully get towards the sort of diamond 20,000, however many thousand, 15,000 downloads it is, once I get there, I obviously will have a bit of content that I've got some room to throw in. So I'd love to put this one in just because I thought I did a really good job. I had to find the font for it and then work out like all of the dimensions, the little stroke around the outside, everything was completely custom made. So I was really proud of this logo, probably above all the others. Anyway, I still need to add a little bit that goes on top of this Tron, so that is only half of the completion. What I basically need is a little baby square monitor that's going to sit on top of the mini Tron. The problem is they don't really do many square ones. Most of the Trons are rectangular, and you can't change the size, which is can be a bit of a drab actually, because I need to change that size. I've got this one, but I would rather not use that one, although that looks pretty close, and maybe I could turn stuff off. I also need to change my camera so that I get this right, because this is really important to make sure that I get it exactly where I want it to in terms of let's see if I can get this right. Okay, that fits there. Let's put it there. Okay, so the second group I'm going to basically delete because I don't want that on there. I'm going to just blank that out. If I just make that black, you should probably never be able to see it. Okay, that's that. And then that leaves me with the first group, which is the top one, which is actually the Titantron. That one, again, I think I'm going to match what I did down the bottom. And again, throw in that Slamboree logo up there. Nice, I like that. So that's basically how the Slamboree one looks. The original one has more metal. Obviously that looks more like a wooden frame, but it's, I don't know, it'll the shape of the original one, so I feel like I've done quite well there getting the actual shape of the Slamboree 97 show. Moving on now, we've got to try and find some lights that are going to go up, set up a rig. These camera options are always annoying for me, because it's so important to make sure you actually get the setup right. So what I tend to do is use the collision as a way of finding out exactly how in line it is with everything. I think that's a good way of doing it. But then of course, as you can see, I've got this a little bit off center as well. So I've got to bring that back over and hope that I get it exactly right. But that's about right. I think I'm happy sort of there. Okay. Plenty of lights, as you can see. They actually didn't have loads of lights, so I might switch that one round. That might be just a bit too much. No, definitely don't want that one. Yeah, they didn't have that many lights above the rig. So I just want to try and find one that suits. Okay, that one's better. No, I'm not sure about that one either. What I want is a really simple rig. There you go. Just a nice, simple rig. Just going to lift this a little bit higher. There you go. Perfect. Got the spotlight coming down in the center. They don't really have anything at the sides, which is good, because that means I don't have to worry too much about that one. The rampway. I actually haven't changed the ramp color on most of my arenas, so if you do download them, just remember that I kind of forgot to do the rampway. It's literally as simple as just changing the color to whatever you want it to be. I've left it as light neutral, whatever the game sets the default, but to be honest, I don't think it will make a bit of difference, to be honest with you. So, stage display, Minitron, I want that on, definitely want those on, header, I want that on, accept lights. Okay, so now we need the lights, and they look a bit more purple and red, look like the Slamboree colours, so let's go and fix up some purple lighting. 2, and then this one, because the central one looks purple. That's perfect. Let's make it a bit more purple. Great, I think that's exactly what I want for the lighting. And again, I always switch it to match lighting, because the 4 construction lighting just brightens everything on purpose. But actually the match lighting is how it's going to look when you're in the game playing it, or when you, more importantly, when you're on an entrance way watching it. So it's really important that you get that exactly how you want it. Okay, yeah, I'm quite happy with the way it looks so far. I think that the actual Slamboree looks good. So now let's move to the ring. Again, as I do with all mine, I delete everything first. Even if I'm going to use the colours, delete it, delete it, delete it. It's always good just to start from a place of cleanness, minimalist. It's all done, it's all ready, and then you can just go and work on it how you want. So I've got a picture on my laptop that's got the image of Slamboree, and yet again it looks like a very generic colour for all of their events in '97. just seems to be the way of the world with WCW. They liked to keep it all simple and the same, so they didn't really change many of their pay-per-views. In fact, if you look at the pack of arenas that I've uploaded, you'll see that actually the rings don't change too much. They change, but not too much. It's like real tiny bits, tiny nuances that are different between each arena, but that's it. The mat is like it's definitely a grey. Oh, I want the colour first. It's not the same, it's a bit brighter. So it's a little bit brighter than the actual, but still grey. That's the thing with these arenas, they're still like grey. Weird colour schemes that WCW had, because they would have this grey backdrop with coloured logos over the top. Man, it's just a nightmare for anybody who's got any kind of eye for design. Slamboree logo's not terrifically big, which is good, but look at the colour, it's just such a mess in the ring. Again, opacity I like to just switch down a little bit, because you can see that once it starts breaking through on the ring, I like that. So I usually go to about 220. And then when you accept it, it changes it a little bit. So once you come out, it just makes it look a bit better. So don't worry about that. Like there, it'll switch in a minute and it looks better than it did. There you go. The ropes are black. I think this is just like, it must have been a deal that they made to have everything black back in those days. Ring post again will be black. Again, I love the fact that now black is actually black on this game when you're creating content. No longer can you see this purple haze that sort of sits over the black colouring on the post. It's ridiculous. Really annoying as well. So the turnbuckle pads are all yellow, which is like the standard for their turnbuckles. They're always like this kind of colour yellow. I think it's debatable how bright they are and how pale they are, but I always sort of try and go in between the two. I think they maintain that like bright yellow, but they're still a little bit pale. I think it really gives it that iconic look actually of what it looked like in the ring at that time. The steel steps are black for this one. Or are they? I'm trying to look here at the moment to see if I can spot the colour of the ring steps. It's the one thing that I tend to miss. But they always look either black or grey. They only kind of had two ways of doing it. So there you go. I think it looks better with that grey anyway, but I'm pretty sure that's the colour they were. So that's the ring done. And the entrance as well. So now we've got to work on ringside, which shouldn't take too long. The mats are again like a bit of a whiter colour, slightly whiter than the ring itself, which again seemed to be kind of the standard bearer for WCW events. The barricade's obviously always going to be steel barriers. Let's get that done. Bang. Fence, again, steel barricade. No announce table. This is that I haven't seen any of, in fact none of my pack actually have a steel, none of them actually have an announce table in, because WCW just didn't seem to want them for pay-per-views. Most of the time they would have them away from the ring. It's debatable whether you prefer that style or the WE style of having it right at ringside where the action is. Condition saturation I always take down, because we're talking about, I think that minusing the saturation helps you to see, it helps the atmosphere look and appear retro and old, because it's almost like you're watching it through the lens of an old television set that's lost a bit of colour, but then you still maintain those dark elements. It's not all whitewashed. And then with the fog, it just, again, the fog just lifts up this sort of hue that sits over the whole arena. It just makes it look kind of cool. Again, black on the electronic billboard. I don't always turn that off, which again I should turn off. I should always turn the movie off of those, because that's something that they definitely shouldn't have on. But again, that's like the most minor of issues, because it takes 2 seconds to turn that off. But that's it. Slamboree logo added. The lighting now, which I think I said was red and something. Red. Red and purple, that'll do me. That looks great. Menu image, again, I always go with number 1 because it shows as much of the arena as I want it to show, so that you guys can actually see, oh, this is what it looks like. That's what the ring looks like. That's what the stage looks like. And then finally, this is Slamboree. Ooh. Such a weird name, but still. Ooh. I've seen a lot of Slamborees in the past, and I should have said this earlier maybe, but I've seen so many Slamboree arenas in the past, and people have played off the the year 97, and I'm just like, that is not Slamboree 97. That logo, people just use these weird Slamboree logos, and I think they're just for a later year, maybe in the early 2000s. So now you will know when you download this Slamboree 97 that you're actually getting the official, it's the actual branding. It's got everything that it needed to have for Slamboree. So enjoy that. Now I'm just going to pick a song. If I can find one. Slamboree was kind of like a SummerSlam. Gonna do that. Again, general purpose. The arena, obviously, Slamboree 97. The show image needs to be the same. Oh, apply. And then the watermark, I always have the arena image. And again, I always go with position B for WCW. I don't know why. Whether that's subconscious, I don't know, but that's what I go for. Slamboree's kind of like a fun event. Let's see what there is. Always want to remember like the colour scheme as well. Make sure that I get that right. I'm going to go with the burn, I think. Referee WCW. Although I don't think the WCW refs did wear those blue t-shirts at that time, but still. Let's see if I've got that video from earlier. Definitely not ECW. Trying to find a good Slamboree one. Or maybe that would be quite good at Slamboree. Let me see. Let's see if that looks good. I think I like the original. Yeah, this is, I mean, this is part of the game where you have to kind of suck it up and know that it's coming. It's like, it's always going to happen. You're always going to find it. It's just one of those things that you have to just push through, try and get it done, and then hope that you guys like it, hope that everybody does like it and uses it. I know I'm going to use it for my universe mode. So I'll accept that now. Ooh, I should have actually watched that and done a full preview just to check I was happy. But I think, oh, I've gone in here. I'm gonna just, this is the show, so what I'm gonna do is just jump back into Slamboree 97 and make sure that I'm happy with everything. Okay, that's fine. Cool, looks old, sort of. Like I said, this is my last of my 5, so I've got Slamboree. I'll show you actually in Creation Suite later, but it's been really good. I'm happy with the 5 that I've got. WCW 1997 pack done. Yeah, I'm happy with this.
The phenomenal AJ Styles.
Yeah, that looks great. Slamboree. Not that AJ Styles will ever be in Slamboree for WCW, but everything else looks great. That looks cool. Yeah, great. So that's good. I'm all done now with Slamboree. The show is up and running. And now, all I need to do is accept that. Come out, and then I will literally jump over to uploads. Again, oh, it's gone up a little bit, not a huge amount. I've got a few more downloads since my last video. Thank you for all of those people who've done that. So arenas now, I'm dropping in Slamboree 97. And then same hashtags, WCW is always usually my top one, and then I just kind of find the event. As long as it's on here, I tend to find the event, Slamboree, and then the hashtag, my hashtag 1997. No description, I can't be bothered. But there you go, that's it. So that's the arena uploaded. That's now my first 5. That's the first 5 of WCW 1997 uploaded. I am going to create others over the coming days, but obviously for now, until I get up to the 2,000 download mark, we can't be getting any more. So I'm just going to work on them, get them ready, probably produce videos for them so that you guys can see how I create them. I've got ECW arenas that I'm going to be making this year as well. They're going to be going in. So just keep an eye out on them. Again, championship, my title, I've got some more belts that I'm going to create probably tonight, because some of them are really simple ones that are just there to make the game easier for me in universe mode, which I'll probably explain later today on another video. And then Money in the Bank, haven't tried that yet. I'd love to try that as soon as possible. And then finally, I've got to upload my show. That will complete two of the lists, which is awesome. Let's just go to 97. That's done. Accept. So that's everything done now. That's all the WCW content that you need to start. Like I said, this is a really good point for you to know. A workaround with this is, if you want to add more logos, the best way to do it, so if you want 10 logos straight away, the best thing to do is create 5 arenas that have different logos to the images that you've actually updated. So for me, I've got a Slamboree logo and the purple Fall Brawl logo, as well as the green one and the Great American Bash and Bash at the Beach, sorry. So you can see that I've managed to get extra logos in just by the way that I've uploaded. And you can do that, it's dead simple. Just think about what you're doing and you'll have it done in no time. So I'm going to get on with some movesets, I think, tonight. I'm going to get some of those done before, as the game now officially launches globally. We're 13 minutes in the US to the launch. Take a look at my WE GOAT list that I finished today, told the world what my number one wrestler was, my number one favorite wrestler of all time, according to a list that I created that kind of calculates it. I also put the WE2k rankings on there, so if you don't like the ratings that WE2k have done, have a look at the rankings I've got on there. Ric Flair is like 98, he's the GOAT, he's the greatest of all time. So enjoy that list, have a look through, it's the top 100. I'm going to be releasing all of that list on social media, but I'm also going to release all of the wrestlers that are on WE2k19 that aren't in that top 100, because there's quite a few. So keep an eye out, you'll see that it will help you rate your superstars as you start your game. So enjoy, keep the fun going, peace.